Back for more, I see. Excellent. All right, so today we're working on that Pepsi boat that we started a couple of videos ago. And I wanted to take a moment, though, to show you a couple of other projects I've worked on already and that I'm working on at the moment. This one here is Firewolf Racing, something I made for my brother. And here's another one for him that is not completed yet. I got a few details I want to do on it, but pretty good looking boat. Added a little pop of color to it. That is my Dutch Bros Rebel boat. For me, I made two Dutch Bros boats. This one here is the one I'll be racing in the SNHL. This was my first boat. Wanted to show you a couple things that I like to go for all the details, and so I have something on the saltwater scoop and also on the cowling fin. On this particular case, what I've done is put Dutch Bros stickers on it. I have Dutch Bros stickers down here on the wing as well. So yeah, that was my first boat. Kind of like it. Came out pretty good. I also right now I'm working on that. And this is what we're making today, the Pepsi boat. So it is not a completed boat, right? There's multiple pieces. The first piece is the hull. Then you can do the cowling and the cockpit. And all we've done on this video is the hull. This video is kind of raw, I guess you could say. I'm just kind of going through the process of making this, and it's pretty much on the fly. So I run into changing my mind. I do all sorts of things, and I did it that way so that you can see the process as it is for me and know that it's probably going to be that way for you. I do have lots of tips and tricks of how to use GIMP to make things, and so I think it's going to be pretty helpful overall. All right, so let's get into it. Greetings, welcome to Mod the Mind. My name is Neil, and we're going to get into painting a boat, and it's not about making it the best looking boat ever. This is going through some of the basics, some of the pitfalls, tips, things like that, so that you can make a boat without too much headache. So we're going to start by going to GIMP and getting what we need in here. We're going to go File, we're going to Open, and I'm going to go to my boat builder, which I have under HydroSim. Boat builder, okay. Templates, we're going to start with the hull PSD. Okay. First thing I'd like you to do is come over here and get rid of generic, well, not get rid of, but take off generic texture and generic texture adjustment and mask. We're going to add so it looks like a boat. From that moment, I'd like you to go File, Save As, and call it what you're going to call it. Okay, I'm not putting this in templates. I'm going back Boat Builder. This is going in the Pepsi boat. This is a GIMP file. So these are the files that we're using to make the boat. Double click that. And do I create a folder? Not really. This is where it's going to go. It's going to go right in there. Hull CXF. Okay. XCF, whatever that was. All right, here's our boat. We're going to get started now. I want to bring over more things first. But I'm going to go down a little ways on these, on all the layers. So these, again, are all the layers of various things. I'm Control and scroll the wheel, and I can see all of these parts. Some of that is under hatches and seams. Some of it is under modern boat parts. Okay. If I scroll out again, the skid pads. Okay, dark front skid pads gone. Rear skid pads gone. Skid pad lines, all that is these right here. I'll take those off for the moment, okay? And that's all for the moment. Okay, these are guidelines basically. I'm gonna go to View and get Show Guides. I just don't want them on. Occasionally I use Grid, which is under View, Show Grid, okay? Occasionally I'll use that to help line up something from one side of the boat to the other, but not at the moment. Gone. All right, so what I want to do is add some items to this whole list here, things that we're going to be using. I'm going to basically put this over here on the side, and then I'm going to go to my file folders. I'm going to go to my boat builder, and I'll put this over here, lock it to this side. Go into Pepsi boat, images. I will want, probably going to want this image. Put it over here. I'll put it under no step. It's usually a good place. We're going to need the word Pepsi. I'm going to need just the logo. I want this old image right here. Probably going to use the bubbles. We'll see. I don't know if those are going to work. And then we're going to need this just to steal a color. So see what I did there? I just dropped them in. Going to make this all full screen again. So they're all there. It's a big chaotic mess. So if I go down, I'm going to just turn off the eyeball. That's basically the visibility. Turn that off on all of these so that this is my only image at the moment. And what I can do from here is, in fact, I just thought we have a color change. Nice. Okay, anyways, sidetracked. Okay, what I want to do is take this color of blue and make the whole boat that color. That's, I think, going to be a sweet color for this boat. So if I click on hull base color, that means I will be editing that layer right there, okay? We're going to use the paint bucket to do this. But I need a color that is that blue. So here's my color eyedropper. I want this color right there. There it is. I'm clicking OK. Now my paint bucket. Now I can't remember if I'm on the black or the blue. I'm on the black. Okay. Control Z. Favorite button in the world. Control Z to undo. Switch this so my foreground color. That makes sense. And I'm going to go right here, anywhere on the main boat. And there we go. I now have a blue boat. All right. Just like that. I can then hide the logo. All right, so that's a start. Got a blue boat. So we're gonna need Pepsi on the sponsons. That would be this one with, should I do the one with? Or do I want just the word? Let's see, I'm not sure. What about these bubbles? Are these bubbles gonna work? I don't know. All right, I've now selected that layer. I brought them visible and then I clicked on it, so now I can control this layer. I'm gonna go to move, and I'm thinking of like putting them sort of at the front of the boat going back. That's kind of cool right there, but I think I'm gonna switch it, maybe. I don't know, we'll see what happens. We're going to rotate this image. So all I have to do is click rotate up here. It's a click and hold, and I can scale, rotate, all these different things. Rotate. I click on it, and now this pops up. 180, all I have to do is slide it all the way around. I could type in 180, whatever. It's on -180. If you picture that, it goes that way as well. So what that's doing is allowing you to do both sides. Like on the rear wing, you'll have to do some things negative, some things positive. Click rotate. That may look okay up there. I don't know. Let's do scale. And now I have to click on that image so I can scale it. I've got it locked. Okay. Let's scale it down just a bit. I want the bubbles to go a little bit into there, but let's could make the sponsons a different color. I don't know. We're just seeing what's up. Seeing what's up. All right, so there I have it pretty much all the way. Cross there, cross there. That may look okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit scale, and those will stay right there. I don't know, this may be okay. Now I don't know for sure, do I want those kind of coming down the sides? Gosh, that may actually look pretty cool. Looks like I went just a little too far. See how that image is now on down here. If I take the mask off, I'm gonna scroll up, take the mask off. Can't see anything. So anyways, basically that mask shows that that's where it's at. So I got a couple options here. I can move it. So I'm going to click the move thing right there, move tool. And I can move it. And if I still like the look of it, when I'm fully off of that, then I'll go with it. There I am, fully off of it. Yeah, I think that works. Huh. Yeah, we'll go with it. All right. Let's get a Pepsi logo. Do I want the words? See what the word looks like. So the word looks weird. It's kind of dark. I also am going to need it above the bubbles. See how it's behind the bubbles? I want it to be above the bubbles. All I have to do is click and drag, and now it's above the bubbles. I don't know that I like its color. I feel like it should be bright white, perhaps. So if I right-click on that image, I've got it selected, visible, and if I select on it, so like here I'm above the E, right-click, and I go to colors. You can go to colorize, and I can basically just make it whatever color I want. I can make it totally white. I'll just bring this all the way up there and say OK, and now it's totally white. Just like that. I'm going to need 2 of these because I'm going to put it on both sponsons. I think I'm going to put the Pepsi logo. Ooh, what if I put the logo? I still don't know what I'm doing, right? You just get messing with it. All right, I'm going to duplicate layer. So I'm going to need 2 of these, right? Got 2 sponsons. I'm going to need 2 of them. I'm going to duplicate layer. You know what? I'm going to duplicate layer twice. And I'm going to hide one of them for good. That way when I come back, maybe I'm going to put this somewhere else. So that way I have another one that's full size, because this one's going to get shrunk, it's going to get turned, and it's going to get all skewed. But this way I have one that's kind of ready to go right here if I need it. So I'll scroll in. Let's grab this one. I'm on the move tool. Let's move this one. I'll set that right there. And I'm going to hide it because I only want to see one of these guys right now. And so I'll select the one that I'm on. Okay. And we're going to rotate this. So I'm going to go up here to, it's on the scale tool. If I hold, there's rotate. We're clicking. And I'm just going to do 90 degrees. And now I click rotate, and that is done. So now I'm going to click and hold, and that brings me up to scale. All right. And I'm going to click it. Brings up the toolbar for scaling. It's locked, but here's what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to scale down, and then if I grab onto the center of it, I can move it, right? I'm going to scroll in. I'm moving it around, holding the mouse wheel, just pressing on the mouse wheel. And I'll scroll in a bit more. I think it's going to look better to have the logo itself there and not the words. Man, they used to have such cool logos, and they're just not cool anymore. Yeah, I think this is going to go up here, actually. I think we're going to end up putting this on the side of the boat. But I don't know where that cowling is, right? So if I go over here, go to the top, cowling mask. Now I know exactly where the cowling is going to fit. I can click on cockpit, see where the cockpit's going to go, so that I can make stuff match up and line up. Well, you know what? I actually don't like it. I think I'm going to just not do any of this. Huh. So if I hit Control-Z a few times and get back to the original image there, I have a different plan. I think it's going to look better having the Pepsi logo. Same thing though, I'm going to want a few of these. And I'm going to want them above the bubbles. Why don't I just grab the bubbles and bring it down? That's a good plan. All right, Pepsi logo, duplicate. Right click, duplicate again, hide a couple of them. Here's one for me. We're going to do rotate first. We're going to go 90 degrees. I hit tab to make it take effect, and then I click rotate, and there it is. I'm going to click move. Now I can click hold, scale, click, drop it down. Grab the center of it, scrolling in, moving it around. I want it to fit pretty much right on this sucker. But also, if you haven't noticed already, right side sponson's bigger than the left side sponson. So I might want to size it in a size that actually will fit over here so that I can know. That'll work. So I'm going to call this 160. I just went up here to type 160, and when I hit tab, it automatically sets that. And I'm going to click scale. So that's the size, but I left it over there, right? So I'm going to go grab it and bring it over here and just put it right about here on the sponson. Kind of back. Okay. Let's bring up my other one now. I'm going to bring it up, click it. I'm going to go to rotate, and we're going to go, now it's -90 to make it face the other direction. There's a tab, rotate, hold, scale, click. I know it's kind of fast, but we're knocking through. 160, tab, there's the 158, scale, where'd it go? It's way up there. Okay. That is one thing you got to look for, is occasionally it disappears on you. All right, that is a weird look. So I want these to line up. So I'm going to go bring out the grid view all the way down to show grid. And I'm going to start over on this one. I'm going to click it and move it. Now notice I don't have to click and move. In fact, if I click the bubbles, I can move the bubbles. I'm going to Control Z. When you are moving, you don't have to have something highlighted. You can just move it. So I'm going to try to move this about roughly one grid. Notice how they're overlap, but one grid box in from the center. And then I'm going to follow that top line, try to make it line up with that. I think I like that. Okay, so that's right there. So I'm going to click the mouse wheel, holding it. That way I can stay on that line. I could zoom out, I could zoom in. There's ways of doing this. So I got to come down just a tiny bit, right? Right to there. And then about one in. Boy, I don't have quite as much room. I think I'll go with that. But at least now, those two are right there and right there. That's working. That's working. I'm going to get rid of the grid, view, grid, gone. I think I'll leave those. Okay. So now my Pepsi logo, I kind of want the whole Pepsi logo. But that's going to cause me a problem, because if I make it white, it's going to, that was silly, it's going to make the whole thing white. So I can't really change the color of it. I'm going to make a couple of them so I can mess with them. Duplicate, duplicate, hide a couple of them, and we're going to do a rotate first. So I'm holding rotate, click it, and I'm going to do the, what is it, 90 degree, highlight 90, tab, rotate. I'm going to see if I'm going to like this dark blue, because I may, I don't know. We're going scale. I'm clicking on it, brings up the tools, and now I can, I'm going to mouse wheel, I've got to hit control and scroll way out. Here we are. And I may like this dark Pepsi here, but I feel like the white Pepsi is going to be better. Let's go back up to our cowling, visibility, put that right there. That is not going to look good being that color. I don't like it. Don't like it. Also, where's that wing at, right? So I can't see the wing. If you want something to line up with the rear wing there, what you got to do is click on one of these, and it'll show you the shadow of where the wing will be. Notice how it looks like all textures and stuff now, so you can see that the boat dives down into this area and all that. Okay, so those are a few things to look for there. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the white, but if I change this the way I did earlier, it's not going to look right. I'll keep it for now. I'm going to take off this. There's another technique I wanted to show real quick. What was I thinking of? I could do a stripe. Stripes are easy. I can get into more different ways of doing stripes later on, but right now let's just do a stripe. Way down here at the bottom, I'm going to add a layer, and I'm just going to call this stripes. Okay, This layer is right here. I've selected it. Now let me show you something on this. I'm going to make sort of a, let's see what we want to do. I think I'll just make a dark blue section. So I'm going to choose the lasso tool. I'm on the stripes layer, and I'm just going to make a stripe kind of a thing from, let me go back up. I want to see the cockpit area. Okay. And so kind of from here. I think that'll work. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some sort of stripe. We're going to just click off in the middle of nowhere because you'll see why. I want to be able to see this stripe come across, although we probably won't see hardly any of it at all. And I can come right out here. Let's make a stripe that just kind of goes off the side at slightly different angle. About this far out. Let's go back farther. About right here. You know what's cool? I can still click the cowling thing too, so I can see where that's at. I'm gonna make this about right there. Yeah, that'll work. And I'll come up here and I'll click right there. Boom. Okay, so I have an area selected. I'm on the stripes layer that I made, and I'm going to select a different color of, let's see, if I do white, I could put this on a white layer. Let's try that. I'll select this. I'm going to go to white. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to grab bucket fill. I'm on that selected area. Boom. I just made a white stripe. Okay. It's kind of weird looking. But hey, we're just making something. Okay. All right. Now, I have a couple things I can do here. I can, I'm still on this layer, and there's something else I want to do now. Now I want a deeper blue in between there. Stick with me. This will look okay. All right, so I'm going to go select none, and I'm going to go to my lasso tool, and I want to make sort of a deeper color than what I was thinking initially. So I think I'll click about here. I can go right over here. Is that going to be enough? No, I don't like it. Edit, undo, select none. All right, so we're back to where we were. Let's see if I make, okay, I'll make the back portion first. Maybe the whole back of the boat would be cool being dark, and then just a section there. Okay, so lasso. I'm going to make a section here. It's already highlighted from the previous one, and that's fine. I'm not going to deal with it too much. I'm going to just change my angle a little bit here. So I'm going to go to my same basic start point right here. But this time, oops, went the wrong way. This time I'm going to add a dark layer right about like so. And then I can click it to about here. All right, scrolling out, and I can bring that back to here and meet it. Did that work good enough? Not quite. Can I move this guy? That's right, because I had kind of a different angle on that one. So I can click and move these, see what I'm doing there. All right, have I covered the white? I think that works. Maybe a smidge more. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to select a different color, and I think I want that color there. I think so. Color dropper, and I want this deep blue. There we go. Okay. Bucket fill. Boom. So now we have a deep color there. I like it. All right. I'm going to go here. This may look a little awkward. I mean, honestly, it may look a little awkward when we're done here. I'm going to go select none. All right, so we have a couple of stripes. So now what I can do, I have the stripes layer. I made half the boat. I'm going to duplicate that layer. And there we go, stripes copy. This layer, I'm on it. There it is. I'm going to go to this one where we do scale, rotate, and all that. click in, and I'm going to go to flip. And when I click this, right here I'm on it, it flips it, put it over there, okay? So now all I have to do is move that layer. I'm going to go to move, and I can grab it, and see how it's actually the size of the whole image? Anyways, I can put it right where I want it. It should be forward about to there. So if I would benefit from better markings in a sense for some of this stuff, but believe it or not, okay, let's scroll out a bit. Let's put it back and out. So this is one way to do this. There's 1,000 ways to do all this stuff. Okay, there we go. Go back to move. So now what I want to do is have those below pretty much everything. So I'll grab stripes, bring it down. I want it below the water bubbles. And I want stripes below the water bubbles. There we go. Okay. Now the Pepsi looks good all of a sudden. Okay. That's something. The back of the boat. I'm going to want the back of the boat to be that dark blue. So I'm going to go to the base color. I'm going to go to my lasso tool. And I'm going to select. And this here is the back of the boat. This portion right there is the back of the sponson. And I need the back of the boat first. I can be off, you know, on this if I want to, but well, I can show you that too later if I need. So anyways, I have a section here. I'm on the whole base. I'm on that darker color. I'm on bucket fill. Boom. So now the entire back of the boat has that darker color. Like I said, this might be a weird looking boat. Select none. Okay, so something else to talk about. Let's do the U61, okay? We'll add another, we'll do that in a second here as far as the Pepsi logo and all that. But I want to show text, all right? I can't remember where the top of this thing is, right? I never can. So if I add the textures, there we are. Now I can see this is brighter, this is darker, so that means this is the top of the wing. In fact, I'm going to leave that on here for a second. And I'm going to start a text box. And I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say U-61. Okay, so here's the way I do these. I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to, first off, I'm going to make it white. I think that's going to look better. Okay. Now what I do is to make it centered, I make the whole box be basically the size of the wing. Then over here, this is the justification kind of a thing. So right here is centered. Boom, we're centered. So now we're easily centered on there, and then I can mess with the height sort of separately, but we definitely need it bigger. There we go. And then I'm not a fan of that particular font. If I recall, so if I'm way over here on the left, text, if I recall, there is one like called Pepsi or something, isn't there? Sure looks like it, but
7 hours later.
So yeah, fonts can be like a rabbit hole. Whew, that took me a little time. I saved you some. I'm gonna go with this one, Deja Vu Sans Bold. So you just, man, you can hunt through forever. Right, so I like it. I think it'll work. Okay, so now we have that. I'm gonna click the move. Now just so you know, you can do the rotate. If you want it facing the other way, I can hit rotate. I'm on that. See, this is the way it looks at, for a text. If I click it, I can rotate it 180 and do it that way if I want. I particularly, I don't. So, all right, I'll X that. We're back to move. So we got a U61. I still have all this other stuff on here, which I don't want at the moment. So I'm going to scroll back up, and I'm going to take off the textures. Okay. Now we're going to scroll down because I do want HydroSim, SNHL, and the UHL. So that's as simple as it is to add those stickers. But on this boat, I feel like HydroSim would look better white. I don't know about you. So I'm going to select HydroSim, and I'm going to be on the Move tool, and I'm going to make sure I'm on it right there. Right click. I'm going to go down to those colors, colorize, and I want it to be white. Simple as that. Okay, okay, and now it's white. I like it. Now we also had this old logo, right? Let's make that visible. There's that old logo. I think that's going to look cool on the back wing. I think it'll look all right. So I want to duplicate a couple of those so that we can mess with them. Remember how we're doing that? Here we are. I'm going to go duplicate layer. I think I just need the two. I'm not going to put it anywhere else. All right. I'm going to move it down here. So there's the inside of the wing and the outside of the wing. Okay, we're on the outside. Here's the insides. If I wanted to do something different on the inside, I could. I think I just want to keep them as they are. Sometimes it's hard to tell where that is. So maybe you want the textures back up because that helps you be able to see it. All right, I'll select this. Nope, see that? That's what we run into. What I did is I basically grabbed that whole texture layer. I'm going to hit undo, undo, and now it's back to where it was. So that's what you run into. The texture layer that's up here is above this layer. I just hid that other layer because you're going to run into that. All right, so that's what's happening when you see that. That's why Control-Z is our friend. But I can get the idea where it's going to be. And here's a tip. I believe rotating 32 degrees is the best way to do this. So I'm going to click this and I'm on rotate and I'm going to click this image and I'm going to rotate 32 degrees, tab, rotate. Okay, so now it's rotated. I'm now going to scale, and you can see what I'm talking about here. I'm going to click it and I'm going to start grabbing and bring it down to the size I want. I'm going to just put this on the rear wing. Maybe a little more. I could even go up and make the textures visible for a moment. Okay, so it's on the correct part of the wing, but I'm going to make it even smaller. I'm going to turn off visibility again, come down just a little bit more. I usually like to find a number that just kind of works, so I'm going to go 235 and say, okay, scale. Now I can go to Move tool, I can put it about where I want it, check the textures. Oh, I moved it again, see ya? These are the things you're gonna run into. I think I could have made it even smaller, but I'm gonna stick with it. So let's hide those texture layer so I can move it correctly. I think right about there. All right, so I'm gonna grab the other one. We're scrolling down to old, the other one, here it is. Bring it down. First thing I wanna do is rotate. I'm gonna click it, and now it's negative 32. So what that does is line it up with the angle of the wing, the rear uprights. So rotate, and then we'll hold up here, and we'll go scale, boom, and what I say, 235, right? Tab, there we go. It pops up to the top left corner, so just know that. I'm gonna click scale. Now I'm gonna go to the move. We're gonna move it into place. Just like so. I think that looks pretty good. If I want to make sure that they're basically the same, I can add the grid again. View, grid. I can grab this guy. All right, there's the top of it up there. And just a little ways off. Okay, so I'm on that layer, that line. Did you see that up there? When I click on it, it's that line right there. That line right there. Okay, so this one's high by almost 2. 1, 2. There we go. Moving it around. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'll take the grid off. View, grid, and I want to bring back the textures, see what it looks like. I think that'll work. Okay, that'll work. So we've got a stripe. Okay, so let's finish this guy. Where are you? Pepsi logo. That's just the rounds. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Yep, it is. See there? Okay. So if I position that a little bit better, I'll mess with position here in a second. Oh yeah, so here's a tip. If I want that one, I can click and see how it highlights down over on the right, which is that way on your. All right, it shows me that it's that one. I know I have another layer and I don't care. I'm just going to duplicate this layer again because it's already kind of sized right. All right, and now I can do my rotate, click it, and I'm going to just do a 180 on it. Rotate. So since this one's off the white a little bit, I'm going to go to my move, and I want this one to line up where I want this to be so that you can see Pepsi clearly. That'll work. And then this one, I will just kind of freehand. I could grid this thing, but I kind of want it to be, oh, it's kind of like, see how it's snapping? It's snapping to the grid. That hasn't been bothering me yet, but now it is. I think right here, view, snap to guides, and now it should just move super smooth. Okay. So I'm going to put this one right there. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go back and turn those textures on so I can see the boat wing. It's just before the wing. Yeah, that'll work. So what's funny is I don't think I like these on there at all. I think we started with those. The rounds, where are they at? Right there. I'm thinking none of them. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Ooh, that's right. The rear wings. I just thought of something. So we have this color, right? We have the white and we have the dark blue. What if the back has a dark blue background? These rear uprights was dark blue. That might look pretty good. So here's what we can do. We can go to the select tool and we can draw around these wings. Rough, doesn't have to be nice. It can be right here like this. Okay. You can go off. There we are. Click. Okay. Now I want to paint that, but I want to make sure I'm on the correct layer. Scroll all the way down. I'm going to the base. I have the correct color there. I'm going to go bucket fill and click. So now the wings are darker. And you know what? Let's make the upright. I mean the crosswing. Those are the uprights. So I want that one to be dark as well. I'll go lasso tool, go in between here, over here. I could have done all those together, but I didn't think of it at that moment. And we're going to go bucket fill. We're still on the whole base. Boom. Now that's that color. What else do I want that color? I'm not sure. So here in a minute, I can see if we can make this white come off to the side of the boat. That's usually a challenge, just so you know. It's a challenge. There's something else. This is the very back of the boat. I'm going to get our lasso tool once again, and I'm going to lasso this because that is the back of the boat. Bucket fill, boom. Okay, there we go. So when you're messing with bucket fill, I have it set to similar colors. You can do fill hole selection. At this point, it's basically doing that for me, but play around with bucket fill. You'll get a feel for it. I don't know, I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to see it. I don't want to keep messing with it. But trying to add the white down the sides is going to be a challenge, just so you know. Sometimes it's nice to have a full different color bottom of the boat. If you're wanting that, you can do it in a number of ways. We can just lasso the whole thing. So I'm going to do lasso. Yeah, I think we'll grab all of this. I got to scroll in here so I don't mess it up. There we go. Scroll back out a bit. You know what? Actually, that could be white as well. I'll make the fin, the top fin, be white. That's not the way you do a lasso if you're doing it nice. That's how you do it. Just kind of weird. The back of the sponsons, I think I'll keep them that original color for now. There we go. I'm going to select white now. There we go. Bucket fill. Boom. All right, let's go look at a boat. Okay, so let's check this out. I'm going to go select none. We're almost to that like 19-step process of exporting something. First thing I want to do is get this set up for that part of the process. So you can either start at the top or start at the bottom. We have everything visible that we want. All right, the bubbles are there. They're at the bottom, underneath those, but above the stripes, right? So that's how we get that look. Metal exhaust guard. We'll turn that on and see how it turns metal. It was body color. I'm going to go with metal. You can click exhaust guard extension. That is right there. You can color it if you want. You can leave it. We're not using those. I'm thinking of not using these. Yeah, it's too many. Let's see. Those I need. None of those. All right. No step. If you want no step on your boat, that is right there. Feel free to do that. Okay, so I've got no step. All right. Angle indicators. Angle indicators are right there. Those are on the inside of your sponson, so you can see line up with your canard wing. Very helpful in racing, just so you know. These are all on. That's those rear wing bits. Uprights. I keep clicking over there like I'm going to move it around. Modern boat parts. We're adding this. See, we're adding hardware up there. We got screw holes now. All right, so now that's some of the parts that make it look like a boat. Even more so. U21 boat parts is kind of the same. It just changes some of the stuff on the uprights. I don't know. Yeah, might as well. U3 boat parts. So if you're making a U3, you want to click that. If you're making a piston, because it will add the rest of the holes or screw holes down there. Notice there. Okay. Old style, I don't need front skid pads. So I'm going to go ahead and do the dark front skid pads because I like those. I usually don't do the rear skid pad. I'm just not a fan. Skid pad lines, I guess, sure. Hatches and seams. So I'm going to show you this. You can go, this is made for on a dark background. I'm not a fan of that one though. I do this, hatches and seams. I think that looks better. Oh, and if you do the U3 hatches and seams, it puts those around there. So there's the dark and here's the regular. Okay, so if you're making a piston boat, add those to it. Don't need any of these textures. I don't need these either. So there we have it. Ready to export? Here we go. So this is what we showed in the first video. Channels, alpha. Go up to layers, drop it in at the very top, done. That's the first piece. Second piece, image, flatten image. Okay, see what I did over here? Made it one thing. Layer, mask, add layer mask. There it is, add. Okay. Third piece, export. Export as. I'm going to put this in an actual boat file in the game. Okay, so I clicked back to H1Sim. I want it in the new version, so I'm double clicking there. It's data, assets, teams. I don't have this boat yet, right? I'm going to go over here, create folder, calling this U-61 and Pepsi. Enter. So now we're inside that folder right there, right here. Whole PNG. What is that? That's just going to be a picture. I'm not doing a picture. I'm doing a DDS file. Very important. Whole DDS. I'm going to click export. Final steps. Go down to 5 for compression. Yes, generate MIP maps. And then finally advanced options. filter, box, okay, done. So let's open up the game. It may take a minute. Sometimes, okay, or nothing at all. Sometimes it's a little slow there. All right, up here it will be, we're going to use 61. Now we haven't done anything except the hull. There we go, use 61 Pepsi. So there we, ooh, that looks kind of cool with the white. Actually, that looks kind of cool with the white. The bubbles look okay. Okay, well, not bad right out the gate. So that's got to start. There's the side of it. Got the bubbles going down the side. Seems like it melded in there pretty good. Ooh, I'm kind of liking this actually. Yeah, this is kind of fun. We do have one last important step to do here. So we're going to exit the game. Right here. Okay. If we were to leave this as is, we can't edit this boat anymore. So this is where CTRL+Z 3 times. Watch the right side of the screen there where it says hull base color. There's 1. And now, oh, I guess first one is it took off that transparent layer top. There now is our entire list so that we can edit. And then one last one, because if we look at the top, I'm going to roll up. Alpha is still there. We're going to hit CTRL+Z and take that off as well. So now we are back to, this is where we can edit this boat and do other stuff to it. And a very important step here would be to go File and Save As is what I prefer to do. It was called Hull, and I'm going to call this one Bubbles, just cuz, and say Save. Okay, so now we have another one saved. In case anything gets too messed up, we should have been saving a few times as we were going too, but I think it's all right. We can later on paint the hull, the cowling and the cockpit, and actually kind of finish out this boat. But yeah, I'm kind of digging it so far. So, all right, well, thank you very much, and we will see you in the next one. See ya.